Good afternoon to everyone. I am so excited to be showing up, and it's so incredible to think that we have been doing this all month long. When it came time for me to really think about this journey, I realized that I have gotten so much out of this experience. Much like my entrepreneurial journey, this journey over this month of showing up to share was one that I just kind of sat and wait for guidance on. Oftentimes we want to have things so figured out and so buttoned up, but I just made myself available to share. And I have to say that God has honored that part of the journey by giving me something impactful to share every day. And today is no different. When I woke up, I always wake up wondering, what is it he's going to download for me to be able to share out? And he honored my desire to be impactful today and gave me some wisdom that I am just privileged to be able to share out. And so I have some things prepared for us, but I am showing up with so much gratitude. I don't take that for granted because I know a lot of people can find themselves stuck. They can feel stifled. They can feel stagnated and feel like they're not getting any guidance or direction. And so I feel very, very, very privileged to have the direction to show up and just really share about this entrepreneurial journey. For those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Denise Taylor. I am a business executive that has turned, or corporate executive that has turned business strategist and coach. I help women really step into their corporate to entrepreneurial journey and really launch the right business. I work with women who are very interested in extending or continuing their success. We set up a framework and we have a method that we take you through to ensure that you can generate the most income and impact as you make this transition. As I was thinking about today and getting some guidance on where to go today, one of the things that came to mind for me is something that I hear very often from the clients that I meet with. As a process, I have interest calls or discovery calls with everyone that I meet with so that I can really determine whether or not this framework and method that I have defined is going to get you the results that you need. Now, one of the interesting things that the people I meet with often say to me, which may sound weird to an untrained ear, but to me, it lets me know that they are looking for something of substance. So what they often say is, I am not focused on money alone in my business. I'm looking to build something that will make an impact and be meaningful to me. Now, for some people, that might sound crazy because a lot of people say, I'm going into business because I want to make money. And that is not what the person or the women that I meet with are saying. They're just saying that they're not focused on that alone, that they are looking for meaning in their work, that they are looking for something that is going to make impact in the way that they feel called. And so when I hear that, it really signals some really important things about them to me. When I hear someone say to me that they are not focused on money alone in their business and that they're looking to build something of impact, then that tells me they're driven by more than a paycheck. They want their work to have meaning. They want it to mean something to them. It also tells me that they're searching for fulfillment and they're searching for something that aligns with who they have evolved to become. Many of the people who can make this type of statement have achieved success. They have achieved income. They have achieved these things in their life, and they're looking to continue their success. They're looking to move into their next. So it's not just about another income stream for them. It's about meaning. The other thing that it signals to me when I hear someone say, I'm not focused on money alone in the business that I want to start, I want to lean into something that's more impactful, is that they truly care about the impact. They just don't want to do anything. They don't want any old kind of achievement. They are looking for something very specific, something that is going to resonate with them, that is going to continue their success, that's going to measure up and be in alignment with who they have evolved to become. So it's not just about what they do, it's about who they help in the transformation they create. And so I hear something so powerful when I hear women say that I don't want to focus on money alone in my business. They are driven by more than a paycheck. They want to make sure that the impact is in alignment with who they are. And then the last thing is they want freedom on their own terms. They want to remove the constraint. And money does matter, of course. Like, I can't live the lifestyle that I live and do the things that I feel makes my life enjoyable without money. So it certainly matters. But if it costs more than their health, or if it costs more than their family, or if it costs more than their lifestyle, then it costs too much. They are desiring freedom on their own terms. And so, to me, this is a sign. This is a clear sign that I am listening for when I talk to women who book calls with me, is if they're ready to move into entrepreneurship the right way. Because you're not chasing a quick win and you're not chasing hustle culture when you are showing up to say it's not about the money. When it's not about the money and you're driven by more than a paycheck and you care about the impact and you want freedom on your own terms, you want a business that is sustainable. You want a business that is profitable, but also purposeful. And that tells me that it's worth the effort to you to do what's necessary to lean into creating or starting the right business. And so that's why I teach that profit is more than money, because I want to lean into the desire that the people that I work with, the women that I work with, are longing for when they want freedom, when they want impact, and when they want more than a paycheck. So that doesn't mean we don't have financial goals. Part of my background is driving financial success and revenue success in a corporate environment. And so that is a big part of the strategy. So we absolutely set financial goals. In fact, one of the first goals that I put in front of my clients is that they need to pursue a $50,000 milestone. And we'll talk more about that today, but they need to go after that real money goal. But the real money goal is not the lead. It is not the lead actress. It is not the lead actor. It is something that is complemented with the other aspects that are important, just as important to the women that I work with. And so real profit includes fulfillment. Real profit includes freedom, and it does include money. And so when they say it's not just about the money, they're leaning into the fact that fulfillment is important. They're leaning into the fact that freedom is important. So when I talk about my framework, which is purpose plus positioning equals profit, I am talking about the profit package, the full package, which includes money, it includes impact, and it includes fulfillment and freedom. Otherwise, if we are missing that, especially for the person who is looking to continue their success, if we are missing that, you risk building something that pays you but does not satisfy you. And that is indeed the friction you are already feeling. You are already feeling a situation where you are paid and unsatisfied. That is why you have to be extremely intentional about launching the right business, or you're just recreating what it is that you are already facing and dealing with. And so yesterday, we did a bit of a review on the framework, on my signature fulfillment framework, which is purpose plus positioning equals profits. We did a review on it. And so if you want to understand at a summary level what it's all about, you can jump in there. But I want to pick up where I left off with profits, with the profit package, the fully loaded package that includes money, income, freedom, fulfillment. That package is more than a paycheck. It is more than money. And I want to talk about it because it's the whole story. It is the whole story. It's more than revenue. It's the whole story that ensures sustainability, that ensures freedom, and it ensures that you're building a business that honors the life that you want to live now. You're building a business that honors the legacy that you want to create for your family. And when I talk about profits, I am talking about the evidence that your business model actually works in a way that is right for you. A business model that works in a way that is right for you. And it also fuels the life that you really want to live now. And so I want to go deeper and I want to really talk about this whole notion around this profit package because we aren't just talking about making money. And hear me, I said just talking about making money. Making money is a big element of it, but the profit package is what's going to sustain your success, and it's more than money. Income that aligns with your purpose, reflects your positioning, and supports your desired lifestyle. That's what I help my clients to do. And what I find oftentimes is we become so driven to go after money that we forget purpose. And we forget positioning and we forget lifestyle. And we then create something that feels just like the work that we were looking to pivot from. And so when I talk about the profit package, I am indeed talking about a financial return. We need the money. We have a lifestyle that we want to maintain, but there is this personal fulfillment that has to track right along with it. The goals for your fulfillment are just as important, and we define those by measuring the satisfaction of knowing that your work has meaning. That's the personal fulfillment, the satisfaction of knowing that your work has meaning. And we also measure it by lifestyle freedom. If you are looking to pivot and continue your success, you want to make sure that you have flexibility, that you're designing work around your life and not the other way around. Because a lot of our experience, especially if we were building our career, we have spent many times where work takes the lead. But in the model that I am helping my clients to build, that we are leaning into, life takes the lead. And work becomes an asset to your life rather than your life being an asset to your work. And so for the corporate to entrepreneur clients, when I talk about profits, we really are proving that the model you have established can work, that it's viable, that the things that we are outlining of what you're going to show up to the marketplace and offer, we prove through the making of profits that that concept has legs, that the business is actually working. But in addition to that, there comes confidence. And the confidence that you get is that it's not just about being busy, but you're building a business that can actually grow, that can actually flourish. And then finally, you are endowed with choice. Profits create options. Profits create options, and you get to decide whether you'll stay in corporate during the build or decide to go full time as an entrepreneur later. You get empowered with that choice in your journey. There is no scripted method that says you have to do it a certain way. We build it out in a way that works for you. So again, when I talk about profit, I don't just mean dollars in the bank. I mean building a business that is worth it. It's worth it to you financially, personally, and to your lifestyle. And the outcome of purpose plus positioning is the profit package that I am talking about. And when you are aligned and magnetic in your positioning, the money you make will be sustainable, it will be meaningful to you, and it will have the ability to scale. Now, I want to talk a little bit about why starting with profit misses the mark, especially for the people that I work with. There are so many programs that start with profit as the first step. They're immediately jumping into what can you sell and how much can you make. But here's the problem when you start with profit, in my opinion, at least. The problem when you start with profit is money alone doesn't guarantee fulfillment. There are a lot of people who have money and are completely unfulfilled. And if we're honest, if you're in a position where you're looking to continue your success, you know that firsthand. You have success, you have access to abundance of resources, you have access to a level within the organization that many would love to be at. Not that that comparison makes a difference, but you have access that is not guaranteeing your fulfillment. And so when you start with profit, you're making a huge assumption that money is going to answer it. Money is going to fix the misalignment that you feel. And again, I'm not bashing money because we do need it and we need it in abundance, especially if you want to live the way that I do. But it is not the answer to the gap, to the misalignment, to the incongruence that you feel with what you're doing. And when you lead with money, when you lead with profit, when you lead with that sense that the revenue is going to change everything, you'll soon realize that does not. And so when you're leading with that, it has the wrong thing at the center. It has the wrong thing because money is not going to be the answer to the misalignment that you feel. The second thing that I believe is a mismark, if you will, when you start with money is what you build isn't aligned with who you are. The dollars will feel empty. And the third thing, especially for high achieving women, is that you'll end up repeating success without satisfaction. And that isn't the goal. And so starting with money, starting with what can I do and how much can I make, while it seems like the right thing if you want to have a business, for my target audience or for my clients or the people that I work with, it is not the right thing. And that is why when you get into some communities and that is the focus, it has a sensation for a minute, but it doesn't last because it's not sustainable. That's why you join these business networks and they last for a little bit, but they don't go the distance because they're not fixing the right problem. The medication doesn't go with the symptom. A money answer is not driving fulfillment. And so if you can't connect purpose to it, it is just going to be success without satisfaction and it's going to fizzle fast. Profit is important, but it's not the starting point. The real value in what you build is purpose. You're not just making money, but you're making meaning. And it's the making of meaning that is going to allow you to sustain the activity. The second is the real value in what you build is positioning. You're not just selling, you're standing out in a way that earns trust. And that trust is feeding into the credibility that you bring to the marketplace. So all of that creates a resonating package for you to keep it going. And then finally, the real value is in that life alignment. You're not building another trap. You're building freedom. And building freedom doesn't say, follow this script, go recruit this amount. It doesn't follow that way. It comes from within. It's a calling that comes from within. And so when those foundations are in place, then profit isn't income. It's sustainable, it's satisfying, and scalable. And so those are the litmus tests. For whatever it is you're doing, can you see yourself doing it for a long time? Does it resonate fully with you always? And is it something you can build on? Is it something you can build on? And that will let you know if you're tapping into something that drives that profit package that I've talked about. The one where there's income and impact, and there's also alignment with the lifestyle that you want to live. So I don't believe in starting with profit, not in the sense of revenue, not in the sense of a money goal by itself. Money alone doesn't make your business worth it. And here's what I've seen. When you start with purpose and positioning, and when you build the right business, not just any business, the profits are not only bigger, but they're better. And the reason why they're better is because they match who you are. And that is going to be the extension of where you now sit, who you've evolved to become. It's going to be the extension of all of that that you desire for your life now. So now I know you've heard me say that starting with money is not the right strategy. And I certainly stand by that, because money alone doesn't make the business worth it, but you do need a money goal. So hear me loud and clear. I am not saying you don't need a money goal. You need a money goal because it's a critical measure. But the money goal alone in setting that is just one element in the picture. It includes financial return, but it also has to measure the fulfillment you get in the freedom, not just did I drive to the money goal. And this is so important to note, especially for the woman who is looking to continue her success. You need a money goal. You don't want to just throw it all away. You absolutely need a money goal, but the measure is not just the financial return. It's the fulfillment return. It's the freedom return. All three of those things are factors when it comes to establishing the goal. And so you have to begin to ask yourself, is the financial return there? Can I consistently do this? Are the revenues predictable that justify the pivot and prove the business model? But that's not the only determining factor. The personal fulfillment is important too. Is the satisfaction there of knowing that your work has meaning, knowing that what you're building is worth the effort and not just another job that you now own? And that is what has happened for a lot of people. They have just created another job for themselves that they now own because the fulfillment factor is not being registered. It is not being considered. It is not being prioritized in the build. And then finally, the last aspect or dimension of setting the goal is that lifestyle freedom. Do you have the flexibility to design the work around your life and not the other way around? And this is probably one of the biggest differentiators in my method, is because lifestyle is a factor that we consider from day one. This came from my own journey of wanting to work from anywhere. I could not build a business model that did not support the lifestyle freedom that I desired. And that doesn't mean you have to replicate my freedom, but you have to understand what lifestyle freedom you want so that the business that you build can uphold that. You have to consider that upfront. And that is one of the biggest differentiators in the way that I work with my clients, because my clients are looking for their next. They are looking to continue their success. They don't want to just have another job that they now own. They want a business that sets them free. They want a business that allows them to generate money, that has the fulfillment factor, but also considers the lifestyle that they want to live. So when I talk about the profit package, when I talk about what all goes into that, money is a factor. And as I've stated before, the first goal that I give my clients is 50K. That's the one I want us to accelerate to as fast as we can. And people go to that at a different pace. And I'm here for the pace that works for you. But we have to have the money goal that works hand in hand with fulfillment and freedom. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes a little bit more sense about my views on why you don't just start with the money goal alone, but why you also incorporate those other factors when you are establishing your business and when you are monitoring and measuring the success of your business. All right. So As I've been saying from all month, as I've been going and doing these lives, I want to give you a personal invitation to go further into this framework, further into the corporate to entrepreneur method with me. If you know that you need to launch the right business, and that was one of your 2025 goals, and we are coming around the corner to the last quarter of this year, I want you to prioritize getting in the room. We've talked about so many different elements in my method. The method has 5 steps to it. The framework has 3 overarching sentiments or dimensions to it. And this is going to ensure that you launch the right business. The framework is corporate plus position. Corporate is purpose plus positioning equals profits. And then there's a step-by-step method in there on how we drive that out, how we get to the business model, how we establish your offer, how we make sure that the lifestyle that you want to live is factored in all the way through. So having said all that, this is again your personal invitation to join me at Corporate to Entrepreneur Live. There is only a few days left. I can't believe this month has gone by so quickly, but when we get to the last day of August, the pre-sale will be done. That pre-sale window is closing at the end of this month. I want to invite you to give strong consideration to getting off the fence and getting in the room. The number one thing that you can do for the business that you feel called to start is to get in a room that's moving in that direction. And everyone who enters in that room is going to get the support, guidance, and mentorship to be able to accelerate their business forward. And you need to do that before the end of the year, especially if that was one of your 2025 goals. Now, if you are in business and you feel like you have become stuck or stagnated, or you're beginning to realize through the things that I am sharing that you don't have a solid foundation that is going to allow you to drive forward with something that is going to be geared to your fulfillment and also geared to your freedom, then you need to get in the room and begin to understand how to incorporate these principles into what you are already doing. This is a safe space. It's going to be an intimate space. There's going to be a great community of women who are already slated to be in the room, and you need to be a part of it because it is time for you to just stop being stuck where you are and begin accelerating forward. Now, Corporate to Entrepreneur Live is going to be taking place in Charlotte, North Carolina on October 25th and 26th. That's a Saturday and a Sunday. We are going to wrap up by midday on Sunday so that you can get back home and get ready for your next work week. We have an action-packed schedule for you. You'll be in the room with me. I will be taking you through all of the steps. You'll begin to understand 100% how to get ready to launch your business, and you'll be supported and in community with other women who are doing the same. So this is the room that is moving in the direction that you want to go. And this is me giving you a personal invitation to finally get off of the fence and get in the room and begin launching your business, the right business for you. One that is going to ensure that you have income, impact, fulfillment, and freedom. Those are the things that are needed in your next season, your next chapter. And that is what I want to ensure that you actually prepare yourself to experience. The corporate to entrepreneur journey is an incredible journey. I think I may talk a little bit as I'm wrapping up. I'm feeling like I need to talk a little bit about what it's like to go through the different stages of what you feel when you're in that journey. But this is a space where I understand it completely because I've walked it myself. As I said earlier, I am a corporate executive turned business strategist and coach. I have taken the corporate to entrepreneur journey, and my job now is to help shepherd other women who want to make that same pivot. So if that's you, I want to invite you to go to www.theceoshift.live. There's a ton of information on there, including access to all of the sign up bonuses that are there. We've got some great ones planned for you, as well as access to the pre-sale rate that is still in effect to the end of this month. And so I want to invite you to take a look. I want to invite you to make a commitment to yourself to be a part of this experience. And I will look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Now, one last thing. If you've been listening to me and you know someone who has been talking your ear off about the business that they want to launch for themselves, I want you to be your sister's keeper. I want you to send this information to them so that they have an opportunity to receive your support, as well as be a part of this experience that could change literally everything for them overnight. So I'll see you tomorrow. It was great checking in with you. And just remember that profit package is fully loaded when you create the right business. And I'd love to see you launch that before the end of this year. Talk soon. Bye-bye.